Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to our VIDA podcast, where we're going to help educate military veterans and their spouses on opportunities in Web3. Our plan is to host a series of industry leaders, many of whom are veterans or spouses themselves, so we can learn about their journey down the crypto rabbit hole while understanding opportunities for transitioning veterans into space. My name is Chris Perkins. I'm a combat Marine veteran who spent 15 years on Wall Street before transitioning into crypto myself. And before we begin, I wanted to thank our sponsor, Luca, who have dedicated their time and resources to make this podcast possible. And today we're interviewing Adam Zarazinski, CEO and founder of Inca. Welcome, Adam.
Thanks for having me.
So, Adam, as we begin, would love to hear about your background. Tell us how you grew up and what led you to the military.
Yeah. So I was born and raised in Chicago. Went to undergrad there. Started my career in intelligence, actually, at Interpol in the south of France, doing criminal intelligence work there. So we built essentially their first open source data collection system. At the time, Interpol was kind of doing like one-off OSINT investigations. So they would have an investigation and they would go out and try to collect data relevant to that investigation, as opposed to the other way around. So we helped Interpol go out, collect data on different markets. They were just illegal markets, right? Weapons trafficking, human trafficking, stuff like that. And then help them analyze that data and build an operational site picture of what was happening. I did that for a while, and then the co-founder and I went our separate ways. So he went on to lead network security at the Bank of France, and I went to law school at the University of Michigan. And then right from law school, I joined the Air Force as a judge advocate. So I was stationed at Joint Base Andrews for about 2 years and served mostly as a federal prosecutor there. Did that for 2 years and then deployed to Afghanistan, spent about 9 months in Afghanistan, mostly doing operations and intelligence law. Wrapped up my time there, redeployed back to DC, where I was the judge advocate for the Air Force District of Washington. So it was like the Air Force element to the joint unit that protected Washington, D.C. And then caught the crypto bug somewhere in between there, left active duty March of 2018.
Awesome. So, you're speaking to a Marine who writes with crayons. And so not only are you in the Air Force, so you're already up here, but you're also a lawyer, a JAG from the Air Force. As you unpack your experience in the military, whether it was in Afghanistan or otherwise, are there any defining moments or experiences that you had that would later define your career?
You put it nicely. To me, I'm in the not only in the dorkiest branch, but the dorkiest part of the dorkiest branch. Like most people, right? I joined the U.S. military because I wanted to help change the world, right? And when I deployed, I feel like I kind of had an opportunity to do that. But I felt almost like it wasn't enough. Like I wanted not only to do more, but I wanted to have less bureaucratic and administrative control over what I was doing and how to contribute to society. And to me, that's crypto, right? Like that's why I got into crypto. Obviously, like everybody else that probably listens to this, caught the crypto bug and said oh my God, this is something that can really change the world. I think that, that we can contribute here without any red tape, right? And make an outsized impact. So it was, I actually spent all those, I was introduced to Bitcoin right before I deployed, actually. And spent all those hours, where you're sitting and waiting in line to do something. I was actually learning about crypto then. So when I was on the tarmac on the C-130, I had just bought basically every Bitcoin book I could get my hands on. It was sitting there kind of plowing through all of it. Figuring out, not only trying to understand the space, but also maybe where we could fit in the space, where we could contribute. So it was that mixture of getting a chance to really do what I thought I wanted to do, but then also facing all the, bureaucratic and administrative hurdles that come with being in the military, and thought that maybe I could do more. So that's why I got into crypto.
Awesome. So you came back, now you're up to speed. You've done a lot of reading. What happened? How was your transition, and how did you end up where you are today?
Yeah. My co-founder and I decide, okay, we're going to start this company. We're going to do enterprise grade data analytics and basically help old finance, old government get into crypto. Right. That's our big goal through data. And then we were kind of like, well, now what? Like, unlike you, I had zero experience on Wall Street, and neither did my partner. Neither did my partner. And we're like, we don't know where to go. And sure enough, time and time again, right? It was actually the military that helped me out. So I joined a program that I highly recommend for anybody that's leaving the military. It's called ACP, American Corporate Partners. I'm sure you've heard of them. So what they do is they basically connect people that are leaving the military with mentors, right? And that mentor can be anything. That mentor can be somebody that's going to help you get a job or write a resume or whatever. And I said, hey, we're getting into crypto finance. We want to sell data. We need somebody that just knows a lot of people on Wall Street. And so they hooked me up with a guy who's now a dear friend and an advisor to us. His name is John Palazzo. He's I believe he's the COO of Intelligent Cross, and just knows everybody. Was kind of supportive of us from the beginning, and that was really our entrance into the market. From there, we built a few like basic initial products, and JP and his friend Michelle Finzi were the ones that really got us intros, got us talking to people, figuring out what the market needed. And we've been running since then.
That's awesome. So tell us about Inca. What does it do? And maybe we'd love to hear the story of what it took to build it.
Yeah. So think of us kind of like a mixture between Bloomberg and Palantir for crypto. So we collect data, provide infrastructure for that data, and analyze data across the digital asset ecosystem. I break it down into kind of like three rough categories of data that we collect and analyze. The first is crypto market data. So we're plugged into about 350 exchanges globally. We collect all of that market data. So it's kind of column one. Column two is what I call technical data. That includes blockchain data. So we run our own nodes. We collect blockchain data. We collect data from GitHub repos. Collect data from mining pools, stuff like that. We're not a forensics company, so we don't compete with Chainalysis, CipherTrace, TRM, any of those companies. But we collect similar data sets. So we pull in all that technical data, and then we have a fairly large and robust natural language data collection module too. So go out, we turn news into data, social media like Twitter and Reddit, messenger chat channels like Telegram, the decisions of financial regulators all around the world. Go out and collect that data, and then we do stuff with it. Most of what we've done to date has been fairly bespoke for large clients. So a large bank or a large hedge fund will come to us with a specific problem set, and we will take kind of all the building blocks that we have in our infrastructure and create a solution for them. Now we're transitioning a little bit. We understand more of the market. We understand where we fit in the market. We're starting to openly productize more. But to date, a lot of what we've been doing is selling specific products to Fidelity, right? Or we do a lot of cross-market surveillance for the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. We even do work for Special Operations Command. We help them analyze the purchase and sale of precursor machinery that might be used in the building of weapons of mass destruction. So most of it's bespoke.
It's just little things like, fighting weapons of mass destruction, proliferation. Sounds like a pretty easy task.
I would like to say, I would love to answer that there's some, that I have some secret, but I don't, right? It's just a grind, man. Every day is just, it's, to me, the success that Inca has had is simply is just two things. It's just first, it's luck, right? There's a lot of luck involved. and the second is people that work their asses off. And that's it. That's like 90% of it. There's no secret sauce. It's day in, day out, working really hard to get what you want, and then some luck too. Whether even like with the contract that we now have with Special Operations Command, no secret sauce there, right? I think it was me. So we were connected to SOCOM after trying multiple different avenues to try to help out a couple agencies within the DoD, and I got introduced to SOCOM from a LinkedIn connection that it was like midnight. I was like 2 or 3 beers in, just scrolling LinkedIn, and messaged this guy and I said, "Hey, I think we can help with this problem set." And then 20 minutes later, like 1 o'clock in the morning, he responded and he was like, "Yeah, let's talk." And that's how we got SOCOM.
Wow.
So no secret sauce, just hard work.
So typical day is just trolling on LinkedIn and now I imagine your typical day is pretty intense. Do you want to describe it a little bit more? Like, what do you do day in and day out?
Yeah. So no, now it is no longer I'm trolling LinkedIn. So now obviously we have a very robust commercial practice and a robust government practice too. And so it's I would say we're to the point as a company where we have our products, we know the direction that we're heading in. It's really managing two things. It's managing product rollout. So we know the products that we wanted to build. How do we get from where we are to actually developing and rolling out those products on the tech side? That's what it is. And then I would say on the business side of the house, a lot of it is not just teeing up those conversations, but a lot of it, kind of like what you're doing here, it's educational. I still see the crypto space. You and I live it day in, day out, and so it sometimes it feels to me like, oh man, everybody's in this space now, and to a degree that's true, but it's still fairly nascent, right? Large banks, large hedge funds, government agencies, they're just now wrapping their heads around crypto, and so how does Inca build a business that helps them and collaborates with them sustainably, and through that helps grow crypto globally?
Yeah.
Right? That's the big question.
Totally get it. And I agree with you. I think we're super early, and sometimes we talk to each other all day long. So we think everybody is so focused and passionate about crypto as we are, but they're not, right? It's still super early. We spoke earlier about people and talent, and clearly in my experience and yours, Adam, that's one of the keys to growing any kind of business. Can you talk about, how you approach talent and what are some of your hiring needs for people listening? And, what kind of skill sets are you looking for, and how do vets fit into that?
I would say at the outset, we are primarily hiring people with technology backgrounds right now. So if you can code, more than likely you have a place somewhere at Inca. You're hiring. We prioritize hiring vets. I would say over half of our team right now are veterans. We have skill bridge as an opportunity. So if you're still in the military, we quarterly, I would say we hire 3 to 5 skill bridge interns every quarter, and a lot of those folks have transitioned into full-time jobs. The way that the company works and our hiring practices are maybe a little bit different than your traditional model. So first, we're remote, and we were remote pre-COVID. We operate on GitHub. So it's async communication. Everything is on GitHub. It doesn't matter if you're a developer or somebody that's doing pure business. Everything's on GitHub. We have quarterly meetups too. So we'll get together as a team once every 3 to 4 months and hang out and work together. The last one was in Barcelona. So I think that this, one other thing, and then for a lot of folks, If we're not sure where you fit in, we have a challenge program. So we have a list of maybe 20 challenges on GitHub that you can find from our website. On our website, go and take one of those challenges, and then we'll try to find a spot for you. It shows a couple things, right, that I think fit in with military values, right? So first, being a self-starter and being able to like independently think and operate. We're a startup, right? And not only are we a startup, but we don't have much of a hierarchy, unlike the military. So folks on our team can join a team or multiple teams and build products on their own or with a team, leave that team and go to a different team. You have that flexibility, but along with that comes, having to like organize your own work, which obviously is super important for any startup, but for ours in particular.
That's a pretty awesome, unique approach. I love the way it's so empirical. What advice would you have for any kind of transitioning veteran, maybe even the non-technical veteran, on how to get up to speed on all things happening Web3? You were, when you were deployed, you did everything on Bitcoin. That's clearly matured. What would you recommend or advise?
So I think there's great public resources out there, right, that you can get up to speed relatively quickly. But I would say what I have found now running this company since 2018 is that people are willing to help and willing to talk. And that's not just true. I mean, it's especially true in the military community, but not just that. I mean, to be honest, the number of people that are just like willing to provide advice that I'm able to bounce ideas off of across finance, like super friendly. I think crypto, Chris, I'm sure you've seen this too, like crypto is super friendly. I mean, even like our direct competitors, like we'll bounce ideas off of each other all the time and give each other shit, right, about, different markets and stuff. So I think crypto is really friendly, and then across financing, people are willing to help. So don't be bashful about reaching out to me or to anybody else. And if you don't get a response, don't get discouraged. Just keep on going.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And people are always welcoming, always ready to answer questions. And yeah, like you said, sometimes you get 10,000 emails a day. Just keep trying, and people will pick you up. So looking forward, Adam, Inca is growing massively. What excites you about Web3 as we look on the horizon?
I mean, maybe this is a little bit self-interested, but I think the next stage of this is going to be large financial institutions really digging into crypto. So I think over the past couple of years, those large FIs were kind of like mandated to get into crypto, and they didn't know what to do. So they kind of like threw a bunch of PhDs into a room and said, figure it out. And you're our crypto division. Now they're like, oh, wait. This can actually like help our operations. This can actually change the game. Right now, there's obviously going to be some that are dug in and don't want to change and don't want to see the potential like social benefits of crypto play out. But for every one of those, I think that there's other institutions that are open to that change and willing to accept it with open arms. So I think we're starting to see that this year. That's what I'm looking forward to. I think it's going to bring a lot of benefits to Bitcoin, a lot of benefits to our community, in a way that is better than just co-option and diversions.
No, I totally agree. I think institutional adoption is we're not there yet, but I think it's coming. And I think some of the services and products that people like Inca deliver will help expedite that transition, because institutions need certain things. And pretty much all of them are trying to figure out how to get into the space, and they're all hiring across the board. So it's super exciting. So Adam, just any last minute thoughts or recommendations or advice that you would provide to somebody, a veteran or spouse, somebody trying to get into Web3?
Take as many different avenues as you can with resources that are available. Along with that, don't get discouraged.
Sounds great. And how can people connect with you?
You can just email me. My email is adam@inca.digital.
Thank you so much, Adam, for today's discussion. And again, I also wanted to thank our sponsor, Luca, for doing what you do, and we're deeply appreciative of your support. For those interested in learning more about VIDA, please connect with me on LinkedIn or Twitter. Please hit me on Twitter at PerkinsCR97. Thank you so much, everyone. See you next time.